Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Peak Signing Agents podcast, where I, your host, DVO Derek Van Ont, will help you become the best notary and signing agent that you can possibly be. And today we're talking about RON, Remote Online Notarization, because I have been doing a lot of RON lately. And I actually learned a lot from when I was setting up my RON through the Complete Notary Mentorship. So if you are not a part of Complete Notary Mentorship, I recommend you go to my link in the podcast or YouTube video and click there and join it, because there's a lot of, first of all, Complete Notary Mentorship goes over a lot of different trainings on how to make money as a notary, not just loan signings, but all different ways. And one of the training courses in there, some of the modules in there go over remote online notarizations, RON. And they talk about what should you be looking for. So a lot of questions I see asked are where people just are asking, what RON platform is everyone using? And that's not the way you want to approach it. That is actually not the way you want to approach it, because there's a lot of pros and cons with each platform, and it depends on what you're looking for. First of all, is it even approved in your state? So you even asking these questions, that you might get answers that they're not even approved for your state. So think about that. But also, what are you looking for? Are you looking for where you can just log in and then orders just come to you? Or are you looking where you bring your clients in? Or are you looking for a hybrid, a little bit of both? Are you looking for something where you pay a monthly subscription, but then every time you use it, it's not as expensive? Or do you want to pay as you go, whereas it might be a little bit more expensive per each transaction? It depends how much business you have. I'm doing probably, I have to do the numbers now, because every day I'm getting last minute RON requests, which drive me crazy, because I'm not just sitting at my desk. I'm not just sitting there waiting for RON orders to come in for my client. So it's a little frustrating, but I would probably say I do probably 10 to 20 a week of RON. So anyway, when I do have these RONs, I would like to share with you, that's what this episode is on, how I prepare them for the RON appointment. How do I tell my clients, how do I tell the signers, hey, this is the process? Because most of them have never done it before. They're thinking we're just going to get on Zoom. We're getting on Google Meet. We're getting on FaceTime. They think we're just doing something like that. It's like, no, that's not how it works. It's almost like that's how you think if I was going to do a Zoom call with you and many people. That's like you thinking I'm just going to get on a Facebook Live. No, it's like there's a lot of different platforms. So I want to share with them how it works. And I want to share with you an email that I send out. I want to tell you what I say to the people to kind of get them prepared also mentally for the process, because they've never done it before. So just like any order, I call to confirm. Just like any order. And first of all, I tell my clients. So my clients, when they give me a new order, they're giving me the names of the clients. They're giving me their phone numbers, the address of the signing location. And, they're letting me know, is this a purchase, a sale, something like that. And that goes the same for a RON appointment. The only thing I need extra now is an email address. And I've trained my clients to provide me an email address. And if they don't have it for me, it's not a problem. I say, no problem, I'll get it for you. It's just like when they don't have an address. They say, we know the city that they'll be signing in. We just don't know the exact address. That's fine. I got their phone number. I'll call them and get it all locked down. Not a problem. So it's just like every appointment when I'm calling to confirm. I'm just calling and saying, hi, Mr. and Mrs. Signer. I'll be your online notary. I just want to confirm details. Do you have a quick minute for me? What I've got is we're meeting at this time. And one thing I do ask, though, is because when we're dealing with RON now, we're talking about different time zones. When we're just doing a basic appointment, general notary work, a loan closing, it's because they're in my area. So we're talking, what time are you available? What's your window of availability? Now I'm just saying, out of quick question, where are you currently located, or which time zone are you in? I ask that. That's one of the first questions I'll ask when I'm calling to confirm. So, hi, Mr. and Mrs. Signer. My name is Derek. I'll be your online notary. just to confirm, I just want to confirm details with you. Do you have a quick minute? Okay, great. We're meeting at this day. Is that correct? Okay, wonderful. And what time zone are you, or where are you located? Just so I can lock down a time. And they'll tell me, oh, we're in Pacific time zone. We're in Central time zone. Okay, great. Oh, I'm in Mountain time zone. So let me look at my calendar. Let's see. What is your window of availability? And they'll tell me their availability. Well, great. Okay, so if you're available at 9 a.m. Pacific, that'd be 10 a.m. Mountain time. That was my time zone. Yeah, great. That works out wonderful. Okay, let's plan on that. And just to confirm, I have the right email addresses for you. So it's johndoe@email.com and janedoe@email.com. Is that your correct email addresses? Oh, it is. Great. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, have you ever done anything like this before? Most likely they're going to say no. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you an email to your email address as you just confirmed with instructions. And that's just going to walk you through the steps. And again, everyone watching or listening, I'm going to read you my instructions. I'm going to email you some instructions. Then I'm going to send you another email, and that's the link. That's the link you'll go on. Now, have you ever done a Zoom meeting before? Oh, you have. Okay, great. Have you ever done a DocuSign where you've electronically signed documents? Oh, you have. Great. Basically, the online notarization, it's a different platform. It's a hybrid of Zoom and DocuSign together, where we'll be able to see each other online. We'll be able to see each other and talk and look at the documents together. And it's like DocuSign, where we're going to be looking at the documents and you will be electronically signing, and I will be online electronically notarizing at the same time. It's a different platform. And so some people say, oh, do I have to click on a link? Can we just do this on FaceTime? Can we just, no. Notarizing documents is a regulated industry. So whether we meet in person and we do it on paper, there is a protocol I need to follow. And whether we do it online, there are lawful protocols that I need to follow. And then when I say something like that, I'm talking about there's lawful legal protocols. They're like, oh, okay. They usually stop talking about it. Because some people, they want the simplicity. They want to do it on their phone and be like, yeah, can we just do it on FaceTime? No, that's like me saying, hey, let's notarize or let's sign documents. And they think, okay, can we just FaceTime? Can we just Facebook Messenger and sign these documents? No, the ability is not there. It's just, you just can't. So same with the online notarization. So people have never done it before. So I like to be patient with them. They've never done something like this before. So when I say, okay, great. Now, when I'm preparing them, it depends on what verification you're using. Are you using KBA or are you using biometric? Let's talk about that. KBA is knowledge-based authentication. So based off of their social security number, they're going to be asked multiple, what's it called? When you're asked A, B, C, or D? It just slipped my mind. Okay, but you know what I mean, right? Multiple choice. There we go. You're probably screaming through your watching or listening to. Multiple choice. Multiple choice. Based off their social, it's going to say, what previous address have you been associated with? And it's going to list 4 addresses. What vehicle have you been associated with? And it's going to list 4 vehicles. Now, it's based off your social security number. So if you've only purchased vehicles and homes for yourself, this will be easy. If you've co-signed for people, if you are an investor or business, and you've flipped houses, this might be a little more difficult because you're not going to remember every single house you've purchased. If you've co-signed for a few of your kids on their vehicles, you might not remember exactly what make and model their vehicle was. Gets a little tricky on KBA, knowledge-based authentication. The other is biometric. Biometric is where they scan your face, just like your phone. If you have a smartphone and you unlock your phone by your face, where you unlock it and then it scans your face to say, yeah, this is you, that's biometric, or a fingerprint. That's another version of biometric, but biometric is another version. I am in a state where we allow biometric. I prefer biometric because a lot of people have failed the KBA questions. And once you have failed a KBA question or authentication, Once you have failed it, you cannot try again for 24 hours, which gets difficult if it's trying to fund today. And that happens a lot, where we are trying to fund today. It's like, why? You just found this out? You just found this out. This is trying to fund today. Anyway. So I prefer biometric. It's approved in my state. If it's not approved in your state, you have no choice, but you have to use KBA. Anyway, I prepare them for each one. So I just say, okay, if you are in a KBA state that only requires KBA, I just say, okay, just so you know what the process will be, is I'm going to send you a link. The link is what you'll click on to grant access to the online platform. And once you're there, you can put in some personal information. You can put in your name, your address, and your social security number. And based off your social security number, you are going to be asked questions, multiple choice questions. And that way they can verify that it's really you getting online. And there you have it. That's what I say. Now, if I'm doing a biometric, I say, okay, this is the process. You're going to click on the link that I'm going to email you. You're going to click on that link, and that link is going to ask you some questions like your name and address. Then it's going to ask you to upload pictures of your ID, valid ID. What will you be using as your ID? And I'll ask them that. They're going to say passport, driver's license. Wonderful, great. And it's valid, correct? They say, yeah. All right, and then what you're going to do is you're going to upload pictures or scan your ID from your device. And they're going to do that. Okay, great. Once you scan your ID, you're going to scan the front and back. It's going to scan your face. That way it verifies that you are the person matching the ID. Then you'll be at the screen with me and I can see you. So that's what I say. And what I tell everyone is make sure you have good internet connection and you have a device with a camera because I need to be able to see you and have good internet connection. All right, so I kind of explained this briefly, but then I'll send them an email. A couple of reasons why I send them the email. One, this is new to them, like I said. And so me just explaining over the phone, they might not grasp it all. The email just confirms what I've sent, but then they can just kind of read it to follow through. The second reason why is because even though I verified their email address, I want to make sure I still have it properly. So I'm going to send them that email notification, and if I get a rejection back, that means their email is not correct. And I call, hey, just so you know, I got from my email, I just got a rejection. I want to make sure I have your email correctly. Did I spell it correctly? And I'll maybe spell it out. So that's why. But here's what my email says. And it says, and it's just a copy paste. This is a template that I have saved, and I just copy and paste it. And so I just put their email addresses in, and in the subject I put online notarization. That's the subject. And I just copy and paste this template. This is what it says. Hi, I'm Derek. I will be your remote online notary. And I'll put the day and time. I will be your remote online notary this Monday and I'll put the time zone they are in. At 9 a.m. PT, Pacific time. That's what we confirmed. Because they're in California, that's what we confirmed. Or 12 p.m. ET, Eastern time, because they're in Pennsylvania. So wherever they're at, or if they are in another country, I'll do the same thing. If they are in another country and they are not U.S. citizens or they don't have U.S. IDs, it is very hard to do KBA. In fact, you might not be able to because if they don't have a social security number, by the way, that's a little side note. It has to be done through biometric, so you might have to delegate it out to someone that has biometric capabilities. Because as long as it's a valid ID, for an example, in my state, I can use any country's passport as valid ID. So if they have, or driver's license, if they have, I've done Canadian driver's licenses and I've done passports from many countries. And for me in my state, it's valid to use and I can use biometric and that's how I can verify them. But they own property in my state. Maybe they lived here for a while and so they own property and they're selling it. Or they're moving to my state and so we need to do this online because they're not in another country. So I will say the time. I'll just put the time. And I try to coordinate. A lot of times, just so you know, I've done online notarizations at midnight. Just so we are on the same day. Because they are in Japan. They are in Tonga. They're in different countries. And so I've done it at midnight so that we're on the same day. Because one thing I don't want to do is, oh, you're dating it for tomorrow, I'm dating it for today, or I'm notarizing it for today, because where I'm at it's Monday, but where you're at is Tuesday. Throws things off. So I've done signings at midnight, by the way. I personally don't mind because I am a night owl. I don't go to bed till like 1 or 2 or 3 in the morning anyway. But it can be tricky. So just as a heads up. Anyway, if they're in another country, I'll just say the time in their country. Hi, I'm Derek. I'll be your remote online notary on Tuesday at 8 a.m. It's 8 a.m. for them, but it's going to be midnight for me. I'm just going to put 8 a.m. for their time zone. Then I write, here are some instructions to help guide you through, and feel free to ask any questions. So that's it's simple. And then I'll list 7 bullet points that I'll read. Again, it just says, hi, I'm Derek. I will be your remote online notary, and I'll put day and time. Here are some instructions to help guide you through. Feel free to ask any questions. That's my template, and then I list 7 points. Again, I'm using Biometric, so my points here are based off Biometric, but I'll just say, number 1, you will receive an email from, and I'll put the platform. Blue Notary, Proof, Pavaso, whatever platform you're using. That way they know to watch out for that link. That they don't think it's junk. So you will receive an email from the platform with the invitation link. That way they know not to look in my email for the link. They're looking for a separate email link. Number 2, click on your individual link from your email. Because I do tell everyone to use their own personal devices. I tell them to use their own personal devices. Now, once they get approved and they're online, I can actually, in my platform, I can actually merge them into one device. But I want them to, when they first get on, to use separate devices, just initially to get on. Number 3, this will be performed on a device with good internet connection and camera, preferably a laptop or computer. A smartphone can be used, but it is more likely to have technical issues. Make sure to grant access to the camera and microphone. I prefer they use a laptop, a computer of some device with a camera. It's just going to be a lot more smooth. It's so hard to read documents on your small screen. I mean, even if they use like a tablet, that's going to be better than a phone. But some people they like the convenience of it all, and they're trying to do it on their phone. They just can't. It's hard for them to sign. It's hard for them to click on the buttons. It's hard for them to fill in information. Like let's say they're doing a sale and they need to put in their bank information for the proceeds, and they're trying to drag and drop the toolbox and type it in. It's just a disaster. So I tell them I prefer they use it. Plus, there's a lot more technical issues with a smartphone. If that's all they got, though, that's what we're going to make work. I've done it where people are I've literally done it with people who are currently in Disneyland. They're just trying to find a quiet space. They tell their kids to go get in line, and we're going to do this online notarization in Disneyland. I am not joking. This happened last week, okay? I've done it where people are in museums. They've all different places. They're in a rural area, and they don't even have a computer. So I just tell them it's preferable on a computer. But if that's all you've got, that's all you got. And if they need to fill in information, I just say, let me fill it in. Read it to me. I'll fill it in. Just double check what I filled in is correct. Okay. Also, one key point I put in there is make sure to grant access to your camera and your microphone. Because they'll get the pop-up, do you want to grant access? And they just might ignore it because they always ignore it all the time. But no, they need to grant access to their camera, to their microphone. I need to see them. I need to hear them. Number 4. By the way, I will put this in the description if you want to copy this. Number 4. Once you click the email link, it will ask you some questions, including your name and address. Feel free to log in a little early to complete. So even though our appointment might be at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., whatever, I am basically encouraging them, hey, get on 5-10 minutes early. Do your ID. Because whether you're doing KBA, you're going to have some questions you have to answer. You might have to think about them. Or whether you're doing biometric, you have to upload your ID, scan your face, make sure everything matches. 5. Next again, because this is biometric. 5. Next you'll be asked to scan your unexpired ID. Make sure it is a clear picture. Well, actually, never mind, because no matter what, they have to upload their ID no matter what. Even though they have to do the KBA questions, they are still uploading their ID. So this actually is still relevant. 5, next, you will be asked to scan your unexpired ID. I'm purposefully saying unexpired, and make sure it is a clear picture. I want to be able to see their picture, because I still have to verify. We, as the notary, still have to verify it is them. Okay, number 6. This is the biometric one. Number 6. Then it will scan your ID. It will scan your face to make sure it matches your ID. And I'm saying be in good lighting and remove any hats and glasses, because a lot of people they're wearing glasses, they're scanning their ID, but their ID didn't have glasses, and they're like, I'm failing. Well, maybe are you wearing glasses or a hat? Oh yeah, I'm wearing both. Can you please remove those? So yeah, I just say be in good lighting and remove any hats and glasses. Maybe what I would say here, maybe I would change it. I would say it will then ask you some personal questions based off of your social security number. It will ask you some I'll say then it will ask you some multiple choice questions based off of your social security number to verify it is you. Number 7, finally, you will be at the screen with me. There we will go over the documents and sign together. I want them to know now you're there with me. So you might feel like you don't know what you're doing. You might feel lost, but hey, you know what? I will be there. Don't worry. I will be there. So that is what I write. I'm going to put this in the description of the YouTube channel or the podcast. So if you want to copy and paste and make a template to share, this is what I do to prepare people for the online notarization. All right. I hope this helps. We can talk more about RON and remote online notarization in future episodes, but this episode is purely about getting them ready, preparing them for the online notarization. All right. Thank you for watching and listening. Appreciate you all. Just know that you are amazing. You are awesome. Don't forget that. If someone hasn't told you recently, I want to tell you and remind you. And I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.